Welcome back. Welcome back. Go ahead and update your name. We want to make sure that we're calling you by the right name, your display name. And if you need help with that, we'd be happy to help you with that. Welcome to history, to our first blended program, our boot camp for business and hospitality. We are so excited to have you here with us. We are just so elated about being able to instruct you on your journey in business and entrepreneurship. So, this is our first class of our Fundamentals of Business and Entrepreneurship series. I see notebooks coming out, pens coming out. I love it. I love the preparation for your engagement today. So I'll go over briefly the agenda for this evening, what we're going to be doing. I am going to be giving you a pre-assessment. My name is Miss Latoya. I know I didn't change my name here, so I'm just gonna update that so you know who I am. Again, I'm one of the directors of our business and entrepreneurship series. We also have Miss C on the call. She is another one of our directors. And then later on, you'll meet Professor JR. So the first thing I'm going to be doing tonight is we're going to be doing a pre-assessment. And so we call it a pre-gain. I saw someone had put in the chat about game day as well. So I'll share a little bit about that. So you know how when we say pre-game is a little bit of a play on words. So we call it pre-gain. And so basically this will be a pre-assessment with a lot of the content questions that we go over during the series. We're going to be asking you now. So, there's not going to be any right or wrong answers displayed on the screen. We want you to just do your best based on what you already know. And then we'll be able to see your growth over time of the things that you understand about business and hospitality. And then after that, we'll go right into our class with Professor Shakira, who's here with us today, and she's going to be teaching on the fundamentals of banking and financial management. And then after she's done instructing you all and having a wonderful session, we will close with a survey. Every class has a class survey. So you will be filling out a survey to give us your feedback after every class. And then we'll just share, when the next class will be. We'll make sure you have the information you need for the next class. Any questions before we jump into our pregame? And then also I'll address, I know someone asked about game day. So game day is every Thursday. At the end of every week, you will receive like a mini assessment, just wanting to gauge what you've learned, what you know. So we ask that even though the class ends at 8, we ask just for a little bit of your time. So we usually end at the latest around 8:10 or 8:15. It doesn't take that long at all. So every Thursday will be game day, where you will receive a small assessment based on your classes that week. All right, so I'm going to be sharing the link. We're going to be using Mentimeter. Is everyone familiar with Mentimeter or some kind of engagement tool like that? Have you ever used it? I see some head nods. No, okay. So this will give you an opportunity to use it. So go ahead and click on the link. You'll stay in the Zoom call. It might open up a different screen. It won't kick you out of Zoom. You'll still be here. You might not be able to see me depending on the device that you're using, but it should just open up a different tab in your browser. So you can go ahead and get into it. Nope. Okay. All right. So I see some of you are already in there. Go ahead and put a thumbs up. I know how many are in there. There we go. All right. I think, let's see, 1, 2, Three, four. I think I'm waiting on two more people in Mentimeter. So go ahead and join if you can. I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time. Maybe you just joined us and you didn't see it. You should have 14 scholars in the Mentimeter. All right, we got one more scholar coming in. Hi, Ying Ying. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to be putting the Mentimeter link. We're doing a quick engagement activity. So I see 13 of you in there, so should be 15 of you in there. I'll just give it a few more moments and then we'll start moving forward. And I see you all are answering the questions. Excellent. What is an entrepreneur? Yep. Go ahead and answer. Give us your best answer, and then we'll keep moving forward. All right. What does P&L stand for? Excellent. Go ahead, keep answering. The U.S. Small Business Administration, for its purposes, considers a small business to be less than. Go ahead and choose the best answer. So you'll notice as we go through the series, a lot of these are going to be addressed in your classes. A group of companies that compete with one another to sell similar products is a. What is a value proposition canvas? What is a value proposition canvas? Go ahead and choose your best answer. You will definitely hear more about this in the series. You will be creating your own. What is an elevator pitch? So this is directly connected to some of the things we'll be talking about in fundamentals and advanced actually, but it is covered in the Pitch Perfect class. All right, how long should an elevator pitch be? Excellent. Okay, you all responded to that one pretty quickly. In order to deliver a successful pitch, you don't need to know your audience. Is this true or false? Okay, interesting responses there. Thank you. Income taxation is a type of tax that the government imposes on individuals and business owners. True or false? All right. What is a mentee? What is a mentee? Okay, thank you. Offer constructive criticism in a supportive way. Is that a mentor or a mentee? Take proactive ownership of their career plans and professional development. Is that a mentor or a mentee? Great, thank you. All right, focus on general goals and objectives that foster career development. Focuses on general goals and objectives that foster career development. Great, thank you. True or false? You can use an elevator pitch to promote yourself. You can use an elevator pitch to promote yourself. What is revenue? What is revenue? The key definition here for business and entrepreneurship. What is revenue? Okay, what is a SMART goal? What is a SMART goal? Credit unions are for-profit financial institutions owned by members. Credit unions are for-profit financial institutions owned by members. All right, this one's coming in a little slow. Oh, there we go. Picked up there. Awesome, awesome. Savings accounts can earn interest. True or false? Savings accounts can earn interest. True or false? No AI assists in here. No AI assists. All right, here we go. When should you begin to save? When should you begin to save? Two ways we can save money on taxes. What are two ways we can save money on taxes? All right, this one's coming in. All right, so there's some varying answers on this one. Great, that's what you're here for. We'll be able to learn all together. Ooh, an even number shared across. That's the first time I've seen that tonight. All right, okay, so we got a little broken numbers coming in there. Okay. All right, so we've reached the end of our pre-assessment. So again, that was just to give you an idea of some of the content, not all of the content that would be covered in this series, key definitions, key valuable information. It is actually Green Week as well. This is the week where we talk all about money. So again, I hope you have your pens and your paper. And thank you so much for your time. And Ms. Shakira, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing today? You could drop an emoji in the chat, or you can give me a thumbs up on the screen. So my name is Shakira, and tonight I have the pleasure of teaching you guys all about the fundamentals of a banking. So let me just share my screen real quick. All right, perfecto. Can everyone see my screen okay? Thumbs up. All right, perfect. So
Yeah.
before we even do that, I know you guys just finished your assessment. I want to just do a feelings check to see how everyone's feeling today. I know the weather is still nice outside here in New York, so I want to see how everyone is doing today. So you could just drop an emoji in the chat.
Ms.
Let's
Shakira, are
see.
you able to put it in presenter mode? We're seeing the
Let me see. No, is
to click on
that better?
slideshow.
Mm-hmm. You see it
There we
now?
go. Yeah, thank
Awesome.
you.
All right, perfect. All right, cool. All right. So, do you need me to read the statement or it's all good?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, just a brief overview of the statement, if
Yeah.
you don't mind.
All right, let me just minimize this. So the course content and material shared throughout tonight's programs is for informational and instructional purposes only. Any information made available, whether or not in writing or in private or confidential nature, concerning an organization's operating procedures, business relationships, or financial affairs, shall be the exclusive property of S.O.A.R, Hospitality and Travel, YLC, with proper attribution given to the original instructors for their intellectual contribution. So that just means don't share anything that we do here today. You can share the information verbally to people, but don't copy our presentations. All right. So today's objection today, we're going to be talking about the world of banking. So we're going to go over checking and savings accounts. We're going to dive into debit and credit cards and how to responsibly use them. We're going to identify how to avoid bank fees and maintain minimum balances in your account. And then we're going to go over some smart financial goals for you to set for your long-term success. All right. So before we get into that, I would like to know what is something you're curious about learning today in today's session? And you could drop that in chat as well. Let me see how to see chat. Type of taxes. Anybody else? How to avoid bank fees. Yes, we're going to definitely go into today. Taxes, we're going to cover on Thursday in the budgeting class. Tax deductions, we're going to cover on Thursday. How to save money wisely. Yep, we're going to go over that today. How to invest. We're going to go over investing in the budgeting class on Thursday. Yes, we're going to go over benefits of credit cards, interest on loans. Yep. Okay, great, great. So this is also, we're going to go over all this stuff today. Let me just get rid of this and go back to slideshow. All right, great. So let's get into, so what do you think the purpose of having a bank account is? Let's start with a little icebreaker. To hold your money, How to build up credit, to hold your money, to manage your money, keep track and spending money. Yeah, you guys got it. That's exactly what it is for. It's to manage your money, to hold your money, to know where your money's going, to have better control over it. So with that being said, does anyone here currently have a bank account? Yes. Me too. Good. Making one soon. Yeah. So for those who do not have a bank account, how are you managing your money right now? How are you keeping tracks of your money? How are you giving out money, saving money? No. Smart usage. Good. All right, perfect. Good, 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 good. So the world of banking. So many people, let's start here. When you go out in the community, what are some of the banks that you see? Give me some names that you guys see when you're out and about. Envelope method. Good. We're gonna talk about the envelope method in budgeting to TD Bank, Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America. So banks are all around you. So did you know that there are different types of banks? Were you guys aware that there are different types of banks out there? No, yeah. So there are different type of banks. We have commercial banks, which is one of the banks that most of you guys named inside of the chat. Those are the banks that offer different services, including different savings accounts, different checking accounts, loans, and credit cards. Then you have credit unions. So credit unions are your Navy Federal. We have let me think of another credit union. MCU, that's another credit union out there. And those are your smaller type of banks. They still do the same things. They have the savings accounts, the checking accounts, the loans, and the credit cards, but they're more of a personal type of relationship with their bankers. They're people that bank with them. They offer lower fees and they offer better interest rates compared to commercial banks. And then the other type of bank that's out there is going to be your investment bank. So someone asked about investing. We're going to get more into investing on Thursday, but I wanted to let you know that there are investment banks out there. Those are your Charles Schwab, your Fidelity. And then Chase has some type of investment products there, but your heavy, big investment banks are going to be your Charles Schwab and Fidelity. And the reason why it's important for you to understand that the different type of banks is because you have to understand how the banks work in the economy. So I'm a big history major. I love to learn about history and learn how things work. So when I look at the banks, I look at how are the banks run, who controls the banks. Does anyone here have any idea of who controls the banks? And you could take a guess. Sorry, let me go back. You would think I would learn how to work this by now, but I'm going to go back to the full presentation in a minute. So does anyone, the government? It's not so much the government, it's an entity, but does anyone have an idea of what the name of that entity is? Not shareholders. It's kind of on the screen. Let me go back. I saw another comment come up. What offices? We're going to call them the Federal Reserve. So the Federal Reserve is who really controls the banks. They control how much money the banks have, how interest rates are, and just the flow of how money is going to go in the economy. So when you're looking at the banks, it's important that you understand the Fed, who the Federal Reserve is and their role in the economy. Now, I know you guys are in high school, but has anyone been keeping up with the news as far as interest rates with the president and the Federal Reserve? Does that sound familiar, Julian? Yes, 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 yes. So tell me about some things that you heard about that. Yes, there's a lot of new tariffs. Exactly. Anything else? Interest rates and market have gone up? Yes. And the interest rates, the decision to raise the interest rates or lower the interest rates is based on the Fed. So what does it have to do with banking, Professor Shakira? It has a lot because interest is where when you're lending money or you're borrowing money, that has a big role of how much is it going to cost you to either get that money lended out or to borrow it. And the Feds is a big part of that. So when you're filling when you're looking at banking, you want to look at the interest rates of what the bank is giving you and how much the fees are they're charging. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. So we went over the types of banks we went over. So how do the banks make money? So banks make money based on interest rates and fees. So does anyone here, you come off mute, know what interest rates are?
Interest rates is like when somebody doesn't pay what they owe the bank can like take money from them since they put a deadline.
Yeah, so that's more of a fee, but you're on the right track. So interest rates is the cost that is what it costs you to borrow money. So no one lends money for free. Like it's just that's unheard of. Whenever you borrow money from somebody, they're going to charge you to borrow it. So for instance, when you take out a loan for school or when you use a credit card, to use that money, it's going to cost you something. And we're going to go into credit a little bit later because it's going to help you understand how do they factor in how much they're going to charge you. But interest is the fee that you pay to borrow money. Anyone else wants to talk about interest rates, or what you learn about it, or if you know anything pertaining to it?
I know that like interest rates are like basically like if you put money in your bank account and you leave it for a certain amount of time, the bank like will give you like a certain percent based on like I don't want to say how much you make, but how much you
No,
have
you
in
got
there.
it. Mm-hmm.
So
You
they
got it.
would put
Mm-hmm.
like so say you have like $4,000 in your account and they put 3%, they add 3% to your account every month. By the time 4 years pass, you're gonna have $4,480 once that's over with. So that's
Exactly.
kind of how interest works.
So interest works two ways. I'm glad you brought up that way. I was waiting for that way. So the first way is when you borrow money, they're going to charge you to borrow that money. And then the second way is when you put money into the bank, you earn interest from the money that you save in the bank. So this is why it's important for us to understand what interest rates are, the relation between banking and what the role the feds play in this. Because if the feds lower the interest rates, if they make it lower, the money that we borrow out is doesn't cost us that much, but the money that we save, we don't earn that much from it. So the goal is that we want to be able to make money, make a lot of money on the money that we save, and we want to be able to not pay so much when we borrow money. So this is the relationship between the Fed's interest rates and the banks. So how else does the banks make money? Can anyone else tell me how the banks makes money? Someone had mentioned it earlier. Julian?
Little fees like
Yeah.
being charged monthly, or just like little like fees throughout of like Apple, for example, you're charged $10 per month, fees like that.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So they charge fees to store the money in the bank. Sometimes they'll tell you you have to keep a minimum balance and we won't charge you. Like for instance, in my business checking account, I have to keep $1,500. If I don't, they charge me $24 a month. Another fee they charge you is when you overdraft. Does anyone know what overdraft means?
Is it taking too much money more than you're supposed to?
Yes, exactly. It's when you spend more than you have in your account. So the bank charges you to cover it. Sometimes they charge you and they don't cover it. They don't cover the cost. So you'll get a bounce back. So they'll still charge you a fee and then you'll still have to pay that person again. But sometimes they'll cover the fee for you until you put the money in and they'll charge you for it. Is there another fee that the banks would charge? Those are two good ones. Anyone else? Anyone here ever took money out the ATM that's not their bank? Yeah. Do they charge you a fee for that? Yeah. So the banks charge a lot of fees for that. And the reason being is because they have to make money for themselves. So they make their money based on two things, on the interest they charge you to borrow money, and they also make money on the fees that they charge you. And you will be surprised how many people have overdraft fees every month, how many people pay ATM fees, and how many people don't have the minimum balance in their account to make money for the bank requirement. So this is a big business that the banks make a lot of money off of these things. Each month from people. They make millions to billions of dollars off of people just not budgeting correctly, overdrawing their account, not going to the right ATMs, or not meeting the minimum balance, or not having a good credit score and having to pay high interest rates. So these 2 sessions that you're going to be with me, you're going to learn how to keep more money in your pocket. I am a big advocate of keeping money in your pocket and not giving away money for free. So I learned how to build credit scores so that you don't have to pay extra money for it. If you want to borrow money with interest rates, you get the best interest rates. And I also teach you how to budget your money so that you don't have to worry about overdraft fees and you know the best banks to pick. So there are 2 different types of accounts. Well, there are more than 2 different accounts, but we're going to focus on these 2 accounts today. We're going to focus on checking accounts and savings accounts. So checking accounts, does anyone in here have, because I know people said they had a bank account. Does anyone here have a checking account? And you can come off mute and answer.
I have a checking account. I had a checking account because I had when I had a job, I guess they had to take the money out. So you know how you had to get the taxes back. I guess when they had to take the money out, I had to have a checking account for that or something. So I had
Yes.
a checking account for my job. So I had when I went to the ATM, this is a really funny story. When I went to the ATM, I was really confused at first because I kept clicking savings account because I know I'm saving the money, so I knew I was saving the money, so I thought it was savings account. So my dad had to explain to me like a checkings account, what it is and how it works. So
Yep. Yeah, good. So you have a checking account and savings account, and you're correct. Checking accounts are mainly for people when you have a job. Elijah? Mm-hmm. Oh, you muted yourself again.
Saving account, but my mom opened my saving account for me since I was 16 and I need to save money. Yeah.
Yeah.
She opened it for me and it's dependable saving account.
Yeah, so it's going to be a checking account is mainly for when you have a job. You'll have your check deposited into your account, or you'll go and you'll cash your check from there. Savings account is mainly for when you want to save money. Both accounts you'll be given a card. For your checking account, you'll be given a debit card. And we're going to get into debit card versus credit card later, but your debit card is what's linked to your checking account. That's how you go out and you spend money without having a physical cash with you. Right now, nowadays, we don't even have the card with us. I use my Apple Pay for everything. So I have my checking account linked to my Apple Pay. So whenever I go to pay for something, I don't even have to pull out my card anymore. And I just tap my credit card, my phone to the device. It charges me. I can use my phone at the ATM to withdraw money or deposit money. So that's what comes with the checking account. With the savings account, some savings accounts come with these I don't think they call them debit cards. They call them savings account cards, where it's the same thing. You could take money out, you could put money in. So those are the two different things. So now let's go to what do we use them for? So checking accounts is for everyday spending. So like if you have bills, direct deposit I spoke about, the thing with them is that it's not money that's borrowed, it's money that you have in your account. So we spoke about overdraft fees. This is where the overdraft fees come out, because if you use your debit card without knowing what you have in it and you overspend, your bank will charge you a fee for that. So you want to be very careful with your checking account to make sure that you are balancing it out correctly and you know what's coming in and what's going out. Savings account is a little bit different. Like we said, it's for you to save money. The big thing about savings account is you can earn interest on it. And we spoke about interest when you keep your money in the bank for a minute and for a while, and they pay you to keep your money in it with a certain percentage. It's called an APY rate. Can anyone tell me why banks give you money towards your deposited cash that you keep in there for a while with your savings account?
So basically, banks use your money while it's in saving accounts, so they pay you for it.
You got it, Nadia. You got it.
But
So banks use your money. So the loans that people take out, the credit cards that people have, that's money that you keep in your account that banks are lending out to other people. And they give you a percentage. They give you a percentage of interest for you to keep that money in the account so that they can lend that money and make more money off of it. The thing about traditional banks that we named, Chase, Wells Fargo, TD Bank, while they have savings account and they pay interest, the interest rate is the lowest possible rate they can give you. Does anyone know what the interest rates usually are with banks?
Is it 0.2%?
Yes. It's very, very small. Can anyone tell me what 0.2% would do for them? Can it give you a lot of money? No, right?
now,
Now, there's another type of bank out there, savings account that I always encourage people to get, and I'm gonna encourage you to get it because you guys are becoming financially responsible. It's gonna be what we call a high yield savings account. So those accounts are not with your typical bank. They're usually online, except for Capital One. Capital One does have a account that you can get in the branch. But do you see the interest rates on these? 3.5%, 3.9%. American Express 3.50%. You have some for 4%. So when you're talking about banking and you're talking about accounts, I always tell people your account matters. Not only do your checking accounts matter, whether they're going to have a minimum balance you have to keep, but your savings accounts matter, because if you notice here, your savings account allow you to earn interest. Interest is money that you can make just from having your money sit there, and it's a beautiful thing. If you had the option of choosing a savings account with Chase for 0.02% or one for Capital One with 3.5% APY rate, which one would you choose and why? Anyone could come off mute.
Wait, what was the first one again?
If you had a choice of choosing a bank account with Chase with the 0.02% for the APY, that's your annual percentage yield, or with Capital One for 3.5%, which one would you choose to put your money in?
The Capital One.
Capital One? Yeah. Tell me why.
Because it has a higher interest rate and you get
Yeah.
more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you're looking at bank accounts, you want to make sure that you're looking at an account that's going to give you the more bang for your buck. So this is the same thing as with your checking account. You don't want to go with a checking account that says you have to have a minimum balance of $1,000. You want to go with one that's going to be free so that you don't have to worry about paying a fee for it. So this is what people usually see banks and they think they have to choose the first bank they see, but you want to shop around to find the best option for yourself, because remember, you always want to keep the most money in your pocket. If each month you're paying $25 to your bank for your checking account balance, it doesn't make sense. You're not keeping the money in your pocket. So one resource I want you guys to write down is going to be a website called Nerd Wallet. I use this a lot. Nerd Wallet will help you find the best account for you. And it can also help you find with different things with finances. But Nerd Wallet is going to be a reliable resource for you to use as you navigate the financial world. You see how easy it is. I put in savings account and it gave me a whole list of different accounts I could pick out. And then from here, you shop around, you see which has the best bang for your buck. So we're going to look at these for a little bit. Let me see. So out of these right here, which one would you choose? We have Capital One, 3.5%, no minimum balance. So that's also a plus because we don't want to pay a fee if we don't have the balance in there, the minimum. We have this one right here, S.O.A.R, which is a 4.5% APY rate, which is really high. And you earn extra money if you have $300. Wait, earn up to 300 points gross on the savings. We got to see what that looks like. But do you get my drift? Now you see open bank. What does it say right here with open bank?
4.2, and I think I would pick that one because it's a guarantee, while as Sophie says up to 4.5.
Up to 2.
Which is not
But
a
what
guarantee.
else is it? What else does open bank say underneath it?
It says you have to have a 500 minimum balance.
500 minimum balance. But if you can do that, then that's a perfect play for you because that's 4.2% and it's guaranteed. So this is what you do when you're looking at. Now we have Citibank down here. They have 4%, but what is their minimum balance?
300.
5,000.
Oh wait, which one are you talking about? The Western
Citibank.
Alliance?
Citibank right here. This one right here.
There's no answer. So, 5,000.
5,000. So that's something that unless you have that much money where you can each month could, put in 5,000 or keep 5,000 in there, do you think that's a smart decision for you to make? No. So you want to go with the one that's not going to charge you you don't have to worry about any fees. So this is going to be a good resource for you guys on Nerd Wallet. Because remember, when you're picking out your bank, it matters. Your choices with your banking matters. And it's very important that you get the right banking because you don't want to have to pay extra fees. And then when do we use each account? So checking accounts, we're going to use them every day for spending, for buying stuff. Savings account, we're going to use them to store our money in for over a long period of time that we're going to store our money in. So let's go through this. When you're saving for a car, which account would you use? Checking or savings?
Account.
Saving.
When you receive your paycheck, which account would you use?
Checking.
Checking, good. You can also, and I'm gonna start right there. You can also use savings for your paycheck. You can use your checking or your savings. When you're paying for groceries, which one are you gonna use?
Checking account.
Checking account, that's right. That's a good little matchup. Now, debit card versus credit card. So we spoke about debit cards being linked to your checking account. That's money that you have in your account that you're gonna spend. Can anyone tell me what credit cards are?
Credit cards are like easier loans, you know, like anybody can take out money and it doesn't have like what's it called? It doesn't have as much paperwork as long as you pay it back in time, but it will come with its own fees. If you
When
don't.
you say paperwork, what you mean? Explain a little bit of paperwork for me real quick.
So for loans, well, for both, to get a credit card, you will have to like sign some things and like go through some paperwork, but it's not as much as a loan because banks have to see if you're qualified and if you meet the general requirements and if you're trustworthy enough, you know?
I get you. So the loans have what they call the promissory note. So you fill out those type of paperworks. With the credit card, you fill out just the application and then they approve you for a certain amount of money. So you got it. You just the paperwork is with the loans. So credit cards is borrowed money. It's money that you don't own but you have a promise that you're going to pay it back. Do you think that is something that is good for everyone to have a credit card?
I think
I mean, it's
good.
good if you have annual payment. I mean, good amount of, if you're making good money from your work, because if you take a lot of credits and then you can't pay it back, it's really bad for your credit history.
Yes, very good. So credit cards are good and bad. They're good if you are financially responsible and you understand how to use them. And then they could be bad for you if you do not have that let me see how we say it, that accountability, that financial backing on it. So let me show you something real quick. So let me look at the world debt plot. Let's look at this real quick. So this is basically the credit card of America. And we're going to look at these numbers when my computer loads up because it's taking a little bit long.
That looks fake.
Has anyone seen the US debt clock before?
No.
No. So this is what America owes. Can anyone read this number for me? You don't have to read the entire number, but tell me what zeros we're at. Millions, billions, or trillions?
Trillions.
Trillions, yeah. So we're at 37 trillion American debt right now. That is an example of what happens when you are not responsible with your money and you keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. This is something that I always try to teach people, especially when I teach students, is that this is what can happen when you don't take or you're not financially responsible with your money. So credit cards are a good means for you to use to navigate through life. But if you don't know how to handle them, you can end up in a lot of trouble. So this class is going to be very important for you because most of you are going to be going off to either college or you're going to be living on your own. And especially when you get to college, you're going to have so many credit card offers thrown at you. It's going to be unbelievable. Discover, Capital One, they're all going to be sending you offers in the mail. They may be on the campus. They may be around you. You're going to have credit cards hit you from every angle. But and credit cards are not a bad thing. I don't want you to get that into a bad thing. If you don't handle them right, they become a bad thing. But we're going to learn how to properly handle credit today. So credit, like I said, is borrow money. It has to be paid back. It has to be paid back before the due date, and you should always pay it back in full. So credit cards is not free money. It's something that you're going to use with the intent to pay back within the next month before the due date. I always encourage people to pay before the due date because that way you would build up your credit score. Credit scores is what's going to get you when you navigate into your adulthood life, whether you're taking out a loan, whether that be for a mortgage or a car, Or sometimes if you're going for a job, they're going to look at your credit score. Your credit score you start building your credit score now at this age, so that when you get older, you'll have a favorable interest rate. Remember, we spoke about interest rates earlier, about is what they charge you to borrow the money. If you have a good credit score, you don't pay that much to borrow money. But if you have a bad credit score, you pay a lot to borrow money. So let me give you an example. I have a very good credit score. So when I go to borrow money, I'm paying an interest rate under 10%. There are people who maybe have a 500 or 600 credit score. They're going to pay 18%, 20%. Do you guys see the difference in that? Yeah. Okay. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure that you want to make sure that when you're using a credit card, whatever you buy, you have the money to pay it off the next month. You don't buy something that you say, oh, maybe I might have the money or I might not. You want to pay it off the next month. The benefits of credit cards, it builds your credit score. That's going to be key when you're grown, when you come older. Everyone looks at your credit score. You can use credit cards to get rewards. I use my credit card to get points, which buys my plane tickets when I want to travel. So there are so many benefits with credit cards, but the big part is you have to learn how to use it. And you can use a credit card when there's an emergency. When you have a dire emergency, you could pull out your credit card to use it. So I want to ask you guys some questions real quick. When you want a new pair of sneakers, would you use a credit card or would you use a debit card?
Debit.
A debit.
Tell me why.
Debit card.
Debit card. Tell me why you wouldn't use a credit card.
You
Credit
wouldn't
card
use.
is for more emergency. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. More emergency purchases. Yeah. What about if you want to buy a computer? Would you use a credit card or a debit card?
Credit card.
Credit card. Very good. Tell me why. Who said credit card? Tell me why you say credit card.
The reason I said credit card was because it's a large amount of money, and then over time you could just pay it over time, and it wouldn't be as high for when you pay it back, because
Yes.
interest, it wouldn't be that high.
Yeah. Another reason why is a purchase like that, you will use a credit card because of protection online. You know, sometimes online, we all know we get scammers that hack into stuff. When you use when you use your debit card, if someone was to hack into your account, they took everything in your checking account. So the credit card would kind of protect you as that. They have more protection when it comes to transactions such as that. When you're going on vacation to buy your plane tickets or your hotel, would you use a credit card or a debit card?
I think the debit card.
You say debit card? Anyone, tell me why you say debit card.
It depends on the situation.
Mhm.
It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Like if you have enough money on your debit,
You went out a little bit.
then yes, pay for it.
Mhm.
But if you want to use your credit card, then yes, but like you're still gonna have to pay more.
Yeah. I like that. Debit card is good because you have the money up front. You want to pay it off. You want to get it done with. You're being financially responsible. You can use a credit card. Like for myself, I use a credit card because I get rewards for it. But if I didn't get rewards for it, I would definitely use my debit card. So it definitely depends. What if you want to, let's see, let's see. What if you want to buy a car? What would you use?
Credit card.
Credit card.
Credit card.
Okay, I had debit, I had credit. Let me hear the reasoning for debit. They're both right answers. Someone said debit, someone said credit. Can I hear the reasoning behind?
All right, so I would choose credit card because it's a lot, like a big amount of money if you're buying a brand new car. Um, so it will help you to build up your um credit score
Mm-hmm.
and you can get some rewards.
I would
Isn't that?
say debit card, in my opinion. The reason to
Mm-hmm.
that is because it's just straight up, you're just straight up, like, you're just able to pay for it fully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or, and for
Yeah.
credit card, it's gonna cost way more long term. You're
Mm-hmm.
you're
So
stuck.
those are both, yeah, those are both good reasoning. And I know someone who used a credit card to purchase a car, a vehicle, and what it did, it helped build up his credit because he paid it off right away. And then I know people who rather just take the money from their checking account and pay for stuff in full. So both of those are good strategies. It depends on what your end goal is. Of course, whenever you use your credit card, unless if it's in a dire emergency, you want to make sure that you're able to pay it off right away. You don't want to have a high balance on your credit in your credit card. So both of those are good reasoning. It just depends on if you have the money to pay it back right away. When he did that, he bought his car from a third-party user. He used a credit card. He built his credit up and he pays it off right away. So it all depends on your strategy that you're using it. So some risk of using credit cards I want to go over is sometimes people use credit cards and there's this thing on your credit card statement that says minimum balance. And they just think that, oh, I'll just pay the minimum balance and that's it. Can anyone tell me what can be wrong with just paying a minimum balance on something?
After you pay your minimum balance, you will have to pay more fees at the
Mm-hmm.
end.
Yes. What are those fees? What do we call those fees? I'm gonna give you a little hint because it's not really called a fee. It's called the interest. So just as your when you have your check, your savings account and your money sits there and you build interest over time, it does the opposite when it comes to credit cards. So when you have a balance, interest grows on that over time. And what ends up happening is instead of you owing $100, the next month you may owe $120. And then after that, you may owe 140 and 50. So when one of the risks of the people fall into with credit cards is they think, oh, I'm gonna spend this and I'm gonna pay the minimum balance and that's gonna be it. And I'll pay some more next month. But what's happening is that minimum balance is growing because of what we call interest. So when many people they get sucked into that cycle of adding more on each month to their minimum balance. And that is something that you do not want to do. That is a risk of credit. Another thing that can happen with credit cards is you can overspend. You can say, oh, I'm going to get this. Maybe I only have enough money for a shirt in my checking account. I'll use my credit card and I'll get some sneakers to go with the shirt. And then I might as well get a new hat. Has anyone ever went through that before? No, everybody's pretty good with their spending. Yeah, I love this group. I'm gonna be honest, this happens to me before, which is why I learned about how credit works so well because I was sucked into that. Let me just buy this and pay this later. So that's something that credit cards can do for you. But you guys are all good with that because you understand the risk of credit cards and you understand how to be responsible with your money, and I love it. So now let's go through the credit versus debit debate. Do I have the sheets for that? Hold on one second. All right. So who in here is team debit card?
I am.
You are. Tell me why you're team debit card.
Oh, I think for team debit card, there's just a lot less risks and it's a lot easier for people to manage. Whereas credit card, you have to keep up consistently with it.
Yes. Good point. Anyone in here team credit card?
I agree with her because, like, for example, let's say you keep using your credit card, like all that money, like you use, it just got pile up on you, and then like let's say, oh, you owe all this money, you're not gonna be able to pay it back.
Yes. Very good. So no one in here is team credit card?
I would say a credit card because if you have that money you can buy some stuff with your credit card and automatically just pay back, and it will build up your credit score. So you will be like more responsible person to everybody who sees your credit score.
Very good. So anyone here team both, team debit and team credit?
I'll say
You both
both.
gave great
I'm
examples.
both.
Yeah. You're
I'll
both?
say both. Like because credit, like it's the same thing as like not really the same, but I'll say like I'll rather pick debit because it helps more, and also you can take out and put back money in there.
Yes.
I feel
Perfect.
like I'm team debit and credit because it really depends on, I feel like, the type of person you are and how responsible you are with your money. If you know you're able to maintain your money, I feel like you will be team credit card. So if you know, like, for a fact, like, yeah, I'm gonna have my money, I'll be able to pay it back by this time, and you're on your point about your money, then you're gonna be team credit card. But if you're not too 100% sure and and you don't want to risk your credit score or nothing, you would be team debit because team debit is like kind of playing it safe, kind of.
Yeah, it's very plain and safe. There, you guys gave amazing examples. I agree with everyone that came. When I was younger, I was team debit. When I became older and I learned how to be team credit by error, by messing up my credit. And that usually happens sometimes because you don't know. I didn't have a class to teach me. So I learned, I messed up my credit, but I built it back up. But I am team both. I'm team debit when I have to do everyday purchases, and I'm team credit when I have to buy heavy, larger purchases that I'm going to pay off right away. So it's very important that you guys understand the difference between that. And it looks like you guys nailed it. So I think we have a little bit more time. I'm going to go over. Let me stop sharing for a minute. I want to just show you a little bit about credit scores, if that's okay. Let me see. Student credit. Have you guys ever went over credit scores, like what makes up a credit score and everything?
Yes, I went over it.
Okay, so tell me what you know about credit scores.
Credit score is basically about if you pay stuff on time,
Mm-hmm.
it helps up your numbers. So now if you try to buy a house or anything more expensive like a car, they check your credit score, and if it's good enough, like in certain states they have different numbers. Like in Jersey, you got to have 600 and something. If it's higher, you can get anything you want. Not anything but any big purchase like a house or a car. And if it's low,
Yes.
they'll probably look at you a different way.
Good. You have a very good understanding of it. So credit scores range from 300 to 850. What the score does is it tells you how trustworthy you are to the lender. So remember when I said interest rates is based on your credit scores? So the lower your credit score is, the more you have to pay borrow the money. The higher your credit score, the less you have to pay to borrow money. So you want to always make sure that your credit score falls between the high rate. And there are different ways for you to get your score like that. So when I teach, I taught middle school students. They look at your payment history. That's how you pay your bills on time. They look at your credit utilization. That's how much of your credit that they give you are you using? How much are you using? If you're using 30%, that means that you're not responsible of it. You're not responsible. So they want that number to be low as 10%. They don't want you using all of the balance they give you. They look at your length of credit history. So that's going to be how long have you had your credit, which is why I said it's very important that you guys, you don't have to use a credit card now, but you can start building your credit history now with your parents adding you as authorized users on their card. That way, that shows that you had a long history and you're responsible with your credit. They look at your credit mix to see how much revolving credit, which is credit cards, and how much loans you have. And you can see that's only 10% of your score. The heavy weighter is the 35, the payment history and the credit utilization. Then they look at how much new credit you're adding. So you can't have too much credit. You have to have the soft balance between it. And then they look at how many credit inquiries you have. That's how many times are people looking at your credit report? If it's too many times, that could be negative on your report. And then they look at if you're paying your bills on time, if you have any late payments, all those things matter when it comes to credit. So any questions on the credit so far? I know I just ran through it real quickly.
So far, I have no questions.
No questions. So everyone understands exactly how your credit score is built with those different factors.
Yes.
Yes. What is the most important factor up there, would you say?
Overdraft fees?
Oh, for the credit. I'll go back to the thing.
Interest.
Which the factor to calculate your score, which is the top one that you're looking at?
Payment history?
Payment history. They want to see how you're paying your bills on time. So always remember that when you get your credit card, you paying your bills on time and you paying your balance in full are the number they have those are the highest weighted scores right there. So as long as you have these good, everything else is going to be okay. But if these start lacking, your payment history, you're late, or you're using too much of your credit, what they give you, the balance what they give you, then it's going to be an issue. Now, let's go back to banking. Because I think we got credit under control. I think you guys are really good with credit. I'm confident that you guys can go out there and handle yourselves very well with credit. So we went over fees before. Let's go back. I don't know why I keep doing that. All right, let me put the slideshow. We went over fees. Let me move this over. So we went over minimum balance fees. We went over overdraft fees, ATM fees. Now, what are some ways to avoid minimum balance fees?
Pay with your debit card?
These are the fees that the bank charges you to keep money in there. So you have to have a certain amount of money in that account. So what are some ways we can avoid paying that minimum balance fee?
Try not to have like a low balance all the time. Try and make like a good like balance in your account.
Yeah, that's one way. What's another way? Remember Nerd Wallet? What did Nerd Wallet tell us?
Also you could find an account that doesn't charge fees.
Exactly. You can find an account that doesn't charge fees because there are accounts out there that doesn't charge you a fee if you don't have a minimum in it. Overdraft fees. What are some ways we can avoid overdraft fees?
Pay on time?
The overdraft fees, yeah, for the credit cards, pay on time. But for debit cards, how can we avoid overdraft fees? What do we have to be in charge of?
You have to be mindful of the money that you're spending.
Exactly. Yeah. What are some ways that you can watch that? Because everybody's busy. Sometimes you forget, or anybody ever had a checking account where you bought something and it didn't post right away? Yeah. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought they took that out. How is it negative? Yeah. What are some things we can do with our banks that can help us stay on top of our money?
Notifications.
Notifications, very good. You can set alerts.
And you can also check the app every
Mhm.
day on your own, even if you don't want to have the notifications on, because I made that same accident.
Yeah. Imagine back in I used to work in a bank when I was younger. We didn't have no phone with no alert. You had to go into the bank and get your balance, or you had to call the bank and say, hey, I want to get my balance. So times have changed so much. You could just pull out your phone and check right away. ATM fees. How can we avoid ATM fees?
Go to
your bank.
Go to your bank.
Yeah, to the bank you have a debit or credit card.
Yes. That's very good. Yeah. So you guys got that under control. That's cool. Now, I'm so sorry. I don't have a sample bank statement, but I will have one on Thursday, and we'll start the class off. We're going through that so you guys can see what the fees look like on the banking statement. I do apologize for that. Now, let's set some smart financial goals. So, what are some goals that you guys are working on for yourselves? I think my daughter took my phone and see what time it is. Let's take a couple of minutes. We can take 5 minutes and go through some goals that we're working on. Everyone knows what SMART, financial goals, what SMART means when you say a SMART goal?
Can we just like say it?
You have it already?
The goals?
Yeah, for financial goals. Did you guys work on that before class?
No, but like I kind of have like something I want to say anyway, because
Yeah, we could do that. Let's give everyone 5 minutes and then we're gonna do the goals. Let me see. So it's 7:40, so we're gonna do 7:45. And then we'll come back and go over the goals. Okay, we got 2 more minutes. All right, so it's time. So, Ashley, I think you wanted to share your goal first.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking about like trying to save for a car,
Mm-hmm.
and I would track it by like logging. You see, I don't know if you've ever seen it like on TikTok. I've seen people like log it in these like books that they like have like
Yes, my sister actually used that book. She saved $1,000 from it. Yeah.
yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
was thinking of getting like one of those books and doing it either in cash or like opening a savings account and putting in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's realistic because I want to start working soon, so maybe like
Mm-hmm.
by working I can like start saving up.
Mm-hmm.
It does align with my needs because I want to, well, supposed to be taking my driver's test soon anyway, so like I want
Mm-hmm.
to be able to get a car for myself. And then I want to try and achieve this before I enter college, maybe. So I have like 2 years.
That's good. Excellent goal. Those books really help. You would never think that. But for
Okay.
some reason, my sister was able to save $1,000 from that book. She just kept putting money in it. So it's really good. Very
Okay.
proud of you. And once you get your first 1,000, you could put it in a high yield savings account and you could earn money off it. There you go. Very good. Karen, I think you said you wanted to go next.
So what I specifically want to achieve is a decent savings account for for retirement, or like in the case that I might need to take a few months off a job for any reason. And I plan to track this progress by writing down each time, like a log, also keeping a log of like each time that I put that I like put money from my check to savings, and also how much. I'm gonna try to like make it a consistent number though, so it's not just like $5, $10. Keep it consistent. And I think this is pretty realistic for me. I should be at least I should have at least like $5 to put in. Maybe not just like I can't put in 100, but I'll at least have $5 to put in. And this goal does align with my needs, as like I'm kind of worried about my future, so I'd like to be a little secure. And the time bound cuts off, so I can't answer that.
Oh, when do you want to? Oh, wait, it does cut off. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure it out. Let me see. Stop sharing. Come back. Oh, so when do you want to reach this goal? That's
I
the
like
bottom
to
part.
I don't think a certain amount of money will be like enough for me, so I can't give like a specific amount, but I think by like the time I'm in my 30s, I hope to have like at least 30,000, around that amount. I think with like how old I am right now and the amount of money I'll be putting in consistently, I think that should be pretty easy to reach, like even before I'm 30.
Yeah, so let me give you an account I want you to look up. I want you to look up Acorns. So ACORNS. So you spoke about retirement account. You can start a retirement account right now at your age. Um, it is called a Roth account, ROTH account, and your parents can help you set that up. And what that is that's an investment account where you can use it as a savings account where you'll put money in and it'll grow for you. You can't touch it till you're 59 and a half years old, which is when you technically retirement age. But that's a way that you can start saving for a retirement now. So I'm very proud of you that you're thinking about that because it's very important for you to start. But look up the Acorns account because I believe they have, I use that account for myself and my kids. They have a type of account where you can start putting away for retirement. Just always ask your parents to go over everything with you because that's going to be important. And also look up Investopedia. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you because that's gonna be another resource that you can have when you're learning about investing. Because the thing with your retirement account, what's gonna help you get the money faster is gonna be investing. Saving is a great tool that we have, but if you want to make your money grow, you have to learn investing. So I put Investopedia in the chat. And look up Acorns, look up Roth account, because that's going to be for your investment. But that's a very good goal. We have some amazing goals so far tonight. Anyone else want to share a goal they have?
Yes, I have a goal.
Yes.
Like sort of what Karen was talking about, retirement. I was thinking
Yes.
about using Charles Schwab. Okay, like okay,
Yes,
I
I
start
love
off
Charles Schwab. I love Charles Schwab. But go ahead.
me too. Like starting off with $500, and then each month putting around 3 to 500. And I think the average interest rate is around 7 to 10%. And
The return of investment.
yeah,
The
return of
ROI.
investment. And over then like when I'm like 40 years from now to take that money out, which I'm
Yes.
17 currently, I'll be 57. So yeah.
Good. That's a very good goal. I love it. I love it. A lot of people don't think about retirement until they're like 50 or 60 years old. So you guys are way ahead of the game. And once you take down, you too, look at Investopedia, start looking through it. Caleb Silver is the owner, the creative Investopedia. He's very knowledgeable. That is like the best resource you can have. And then the Acorns account is going to be another vehicle you guys can use. Charles Schwab, if you go to their website, they have a lot of videos of teaching you about this. So you have a lot of time to sit there and just study and learn all about it. But these are some very good goals. Anyone else want to share a goal?
Yeah, so
Yes.
I have been thinking about retirement as well, but for now, when I'm thinking about my finances, I've been thinking more short term. And so one of my goals was by June 30th of like 2027, I hope to have at least saved like $2,000 in my checkings account because I'm saving up to go to my homeland in Ghana, West Africa, because I haven't been home in a really long time and I really want to go. And I think this is realistic because I do hair as a side hustle. So I do have like a monthly income using that. And I also work at a convenience store. So it could be possible for me to save that amount. And I think
Definitely.
that is very achievable.
Very good. Amazing goals. And on Thursday, we're going to go deep into this. Now I know to add more on retirement planning for you guys on Thursday. So we can really, really dive deep into it. Anyone else has a goal? And I think you're going to hit 2,000 before 2027. I know it. Yeah. Anyone else has a goal they want to share?
I have a goal to, I want to be able to invest in like myself, like to invest in my own properties and to be able to like invest in my own money. So I want to be able to like save money now. So I know I graduate in 2027. So I want to be able to save as much money as I can now. So when I graduate, I'll be able to put my money into things and get my, like not get the money back, but like double the money and be able to flip that money because I know it's like different ways that like you could get money from like giving money. So it's like it's really cool to learn about that. So I really like want to learn about like how the different banks work like, and stuff. So that's what I would like to achieve. Like I would like to expand like my knowledge and like finances and stuff. So mine is like more so money like focus. And I feel like this is like realistic. Like I feel like I could track this progress by like over time, I could like note over the years how much money grows in my account and how much I could like get back. And I feel like this goal definitely aligns with my needs because my dad he has houses and stuff, so I want to be able to have his business and be able to grow the business. So,
girl, you got the plug right there.
So I just want to be able to expand his business.
Yeah. Have you ever sat down and asked him what is it about?
I also do go with him to work, so that's how I know like a little bit of stuff. Like he has me do like his computer work and stuff, so he tells me a little bit of stuff every now and then. He takes me to the banks with him. He shows me like when I started my savings account, my Bank of America account. I want to say when I was 7. I've been like saving money since I was very, very little. So it's like I already kind of was introduced to this early. So I already know what type of path I want to go on. So I just really want to follow that.
Amazing. You are going to do it. You have 2 years to study the market, study Investopedia. On Thursday, I'm going to have some more resources for you. You just You guys are making me smile like from ear to ear. Like it's so beautiful hearing your goals, the car, the trip to Ghana, the retirement accounts, real estate. And these are all things that are possible for you guys. Like nothing is out of the limit. Like there's no like, oh, that's too much. No, every goal you guys gave me is something that you guys are 100% able to achieve. So I'm going to share my goal real quick. So my goal last class was to take my kids to Italy, and I did that this year. But for this year, I paid off at my last student loan, and now I have another business loan that I want to pay off. So for the next 5 months, I'm going to be putting every bit of extra money. I'm not getting my nails done. I'm not doing any other extra stuff. I'm just putting money into to pay off this last loan so that I can have more money freed up so I can invest. So my time frame is the next 6 months. It's very doable because I'm cutting out other like small little things I do to sacrifice to get this loan paid off, because I know that it's freeing me up from an extra couple of $100 that I could use to invest in the market, and I can have a bigger return on my investment. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're almost done, and we have time. I think we have time for like one more person to share their goal. It's been such great goals so far. I'm very excited about Thursday's class, about what we're gonna cover. Does anyone want to come up and share their goal with us?
Yeah, I've got my goal.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. I want to launch my first company by the time 2030. It's gonna be tech company. Like it deals with clothing and tech together.
It deals with, say it one more time.
With tech and clothing. It's like more like personal brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
And yeah, I'm working on it. I'm doing some researches. I'm trying to reach out with some companies that do textiles, with some like tech guys. I've been researching things, and yeah, I hope I'm gonna achieve that.
What's your time frame for that? How many years?
5 years. I give myself 5 years.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Did you start your business plan yet?
Yeah, I did.
Good. Excellent. 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 Amazing. That's so good. Everybody give yourself a round of applause. You guys are amazing tonight. I'm very proud of everybody in here. You should be very proud of yourselves. Okay. So is there any questions? Any questions anyone has while we wrap up?
I actually have a question. Are we going to go over the stocks? Because I'm really interested in making money from stocks. You know how people put like a amount of money in
their account, and they get a return on their investment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going to go too deep into that on Thursday, but I am going to give you guys some information for you guys to start studying, because when I first learned about investing in stocks, no one gave me the path to go. I just had to jump in and learn. So I'm going to give you guys like a guide so you can start studying, so you can learn how to be good investors. We're going to go over that when we do our budgeting piece, because that's going to be important for the investment. Oh, there's an investment class in advanced fee. See? Problem solved. Yeah. So you guys will have an investment class dedicated specifically to investment in the advanced series. So I'm just teaching the fundamentals of banking and budgeting. Any other questions? No. So it's been great, guys. I appreciate everyone tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's class. I'm looking forward to Thursday's my class with you guys, when we're going over the fundamentals of budgeting. And I'm going to turn the floor over back to Miss LaToya.
Yes, thank you so much. Can we just give Miss Shakira some reactions in the chat or physical hand claps? Thank you for this wonderful facilitated class tonight. Wonderful, wonderful job. I just thoroughly enjoyed hearing all of you all's ideas, your responses. Thank you so much for your engagement. I love seeing the cameras on. You all did absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. I just love the energy in the room and just know that this is going to be a wonderful, successful series just based on how you all started out tonight, right? So go ahead and start filling out the scholar survey. We do this after every class. So go ahead and provide your feedback. We use your feedback to enhance our classes moving forward in the future. So please, we want to hear from you. And then once you are done filling out your survey, go ahead and put a D in the chat for done. And we will see you on Thursday, as Ms. Shakira shared. Same place, same time, same link for fundamentals of budgeting. Bye. Thank you so much. Fill out the survey, please, and you can go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much, and great job again.
For you.
Yes.
So, because I might not make it Thursday, because you know how I said I'm in ROTC, right? I might have drill practice, but I can see, like, if I can leave early to come.
Okay, just make sure you message Miss Tiana and myself so we keep it on our radar. You do have the one is excused absence, Jayra, but just go ahead and message us and we'll we'll support you and make sure you have everything you need for the classes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, everyone. Go ahead and fill out the survey and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye, Nadia. Have a great night.